we finished in November, and then now 2012, the exams come out, and of course me, I was I can say I was happy, but there were other factors that were making me not to be in a celebratory mood. Because this is why I'm even doing these videos. And it's just to encourage those people who God will do something for you, but because somebody else does not deem it, somebody else, first of all, does not know their journey. Number two, they don't know how you have struggled, so they don't know. So, and that's why you're not even supposed to get mad at people, because most of the people don't know. And then there's this, like, this is what is culturally acceptable as success. So, like, God will do something for you that is amazing, but you will not give him glory because other people don't think that it is something worth giving glory to God for, or something even worth talking about, something worth testifying about. So, I remember, and I must mention this, I have to. So I remember there was this lady, she was known to the family. Her son was also doing the exam. So she asked me what her son, I think, had like he did quite well. He had a higher grade than me. That's what I'm trying to say. He had a higher grade than me. So she asked me what I got, and then she was like, "Hey, Paul." She was like, "Sorry." Me here, I'm like, this is a miracle, but she's telling me sorry. So like that was the beginning of just me like kukanyagia, because I was like, kanishaanza kuambiwa pole hapa, nitaenda hapo kuongea niambiwe hizi ni nini unatusho peleka na huko. So I was like, that was one of the reasons why I never like even spoke about it, but it was such a huge thing that God did for me, because I was literally failing, and I still remember I was getting like D's. There was even this group in our school, in my former high school, in my high school. So there was this group that they were like the people who they were trying to help them. The people who are at the bottom kabisa, they are trying to help them so that they can pull up their socks if they need more help, you know. They need more help. They need to be like help. That's where the help needs to go. Imagine me, I joined that group in Form 4. Guy, mi sijui nini ilikuwa inaendelea. Mi nilikuwa nimejoin hiyo group nikiwa Form 4. So I think we had like 2 meetings, and our principal was a good lady, but she was tough. Kwanza on those people, because me, you know, I was there like nilianza kujoin saa nikiwa Form 4, like sijui kama ni second term ama ni third term. When we are almost doing the exams, that's when I'm joining the club. Yani, that's crazy. Me, when I remember that story, I just see the hand of God, because I'm like, if it was not for God, mi sijui. And whatever God gave me, that grade and everything, even the like English, Swahili, the grade itself, I just see God, because he was setting me up. He was setting me up. And you will hear about it now when I talk about my Goliath. You'll hear about it. You'll hear about how God was setting me up in my KCSE, and that's why it was such a huge mountain that God helped me to conquer. And then there's another thing that I would like to encourage you with. And there's this lady that I listen to. There's this woman of God, and she likes to encourage people that even if you are at the end of the year, or you think that time imeisha, or maybe like, the way people like to count themselves out, maybe you're like 40, or like you are approaching that age where people say now you can't have kids if you're not married yet, whatever. And these people who say, December hii kitu imeisha. So you want to count God out, because the author of time, you want to count him out because nothing has appeared within the time that you expected it to appear. And she says, she was giving this analogy with relay and how they put the fastest runners at the beginning and at the end of, at the first leg and at the last leg. And so the middle runners, if it's, let's say it's a 4x4, I think, where it has 4 people, the first runner is supposed to be very fast because they're supposed to cover ground. The second runner is supposed to be, they can be moderately, fast. The third one as well. But the last runner, I think that's the fastest. And it's because that one is the one who determines, even if the first one ran their level best, or the second one or the third one, the last one is the one who determines if there is victory or there is no victory. And so I can attribute that to what happened to me during that time, because in Form 1 and Form 2, I was running pretty well. In Form 3, nilianguka nikatupa baton. Nilianguka nikarusha na huko. So kabla nijicollect nikuje nichukue tena nipeane. Ama nimalize race. Like, it took the hand of God. Like, have you ever seen those people who fall, especially kwa Olympics ama those major races? Aki unaonanga tu ameanguka na venye alikuwa ameenda vizuri. Unaanza tu, unaona tu huyo amemaliza, And there's this lady from Netherlands. Alikuwa anakimbia, sijui zilikuwa zinaitwa aje, easy races. I don't know what her name is. She's this slim lady like this. And she fell. I remember, was it kama niko semifinals? She fell and her team lost. Let me tell you the way she came back. In the finals, she got sijui how many golds. When I find her name, I'll tell you guys, but I can't remember. So I feel like that's what happened with me, because the last leg, the way God showed up for me, the last leg, hey, why? And so that's basically my testimony. I just want to encourage anybody who is doing their exams this year, if you're a candidate anywhere, primary school, high school, parents, please support your children. Like, they ideally shouldn't do this alone. They need you. And no matter how strong you think they are, things happen to people. Like, mi nilianza tu Form 3, sijui nini ilikuwa inaendelea. I used to think it was, because I used to love chemistry. So I used to think, ni moles. I see moles, see moles. And then, because how is it even in English? Like me, I was one of those people, tangu nursery, tangu class 1, I never studied English. I used to read the set books because you must read to know what the story says. But me skwanga watu. Because I had a grace for those languages. But then, even them, like, what is going on? How are you performing like that in the one thing that you've been performing well all your life? Like, can you explain to us what is going on? Can you explain to us? I remember even like my dorm mistress called me. My class teacher called me. There was this other teacher that knew my mom and she knows my aunt. So she was almost like a family friend, but she got wind of what was happening. And then she was like, she used to call me Nyambura. Nyambura, what's going on? What is going on? What is happening? And I remember even crying because I couldn't understand what was going on. And so I'm just telling you guys, like, there's a lot of spiritual warfare. There's a lot of spiritual warfare, because if you cannot even pinpoint what is wrong, my life was good. I remember I was a prefect. I didn't have too much on my plate. I was okay. Nobody was bullying me. I was okay. I didn't have guy problems. I was okay. And in school, this is the funny thing, and this is how I know it is God who helped me. When I was in high school, I struggled a lot, especially to adjust the first 2 years in Form 1 and Form 2 because of food and water. Yani there were water shortages, and then the water used to be so dirty. So I always had amoeba, and then I developed, I don't know what you call it, but I couldn't eat anything that could give me gas because I felt like I was developing ulcers, or is it, I don't know what you call it, but I had a problem with the food. I would throw up. I would not eat anything like a banana because of the smell. I became extremely picky. I couldn't eat eggs at some point. And those are the only things that are available. Like, it's high school, man. And these are the things you're going to eat for 3 months. So let me tell you, in Form 1 and 2, I was struggling because of the food and the water. Form 3, I had just like conquered that now. And this is another story I'll tell you about how my mom prayed for me. And that thing ended. Like, now I was able to eat like a normal person. That thing ended, kabisa. I'll tell you another story about that and how intercession is so powerful. Also, parents, people who have authority, interceding for their children. Yeah, so my mom is a woman of faith. Like, when I count the people who introduced me to God, I can count my mom and my grandmother, and then now the pastors that have pastored me over. I am a product of many graces, but those ones, our nyumba wenye wamekuwa hadi sahi, those ones have really like walked with me and been with me all through. And so like in Form 1 and 2, you're struggling in school, and I was doing well. I was doing well, and I think that was one of the factors. I won't say it was. I'll also give you another story of how I became a prefect. It's a crazy story, and it's just God just doing the things that he does. Like, who is like Jehovah? God just doing the things that he does because he can. He just does them because he can. He doesn't do them because you deserve. He does them because he can. So, but one of the contributing factors was because they used to look if somebody's performing well. And I remember I used to even go when I was in Form 1. I used to go for those trips. You do physics, you do bio or chemistry, something. Like, you're some of the best in the subjects. And then you go for trips, you to all the way from Najua Kondani, you come all the way to Safari Walk, and you see the animals in the animal orphanage. Nakunywa soda na mkate, alafu mnarudi shule. I used to be among those ones. So what I'm trying to say is, where I should have struggled, God was giving me grace. But when like those struggles ended, darkness came in. I have no idea what was going on. So I just want to attribute that to God and just say that he was so good to me and he was so kind to me. And I wish now I've seen other stories that I can tell, but for example, that one about becoming a prefect, I think I'll just attach it before I do the next one. I'll just do a small snippet of it, but it's becoming dark already, and I don't think the lighting is very good. So I'm going to stop at that and just tell you, whatever you are going through, whatever struggles, whatever darkness you're in, just believe that God is able to reach down where you are. He's able to reach down where you are. He can see you. He knows you. He knows what you're going through. And he is able to just help you. So don't feel like it's the end. In the last leg, the Lord can come through for you. In the last leg, there is nothing that is too hard for God. It may be hard with men, but there is nothing that's too hard for God. And then here's another thing. God likes to show off in weak vessels. Like when you think apa hii imenishinda, that one is the one you're supposed to take to God, because that is where Paul says that I will boast in my weaknesses all the more, because when I am weak, the power of God rests upon me. Like, his grace is made perfect in weakness. And so and that's the story also in Form 1 and 2, because I was struggling and he was giving me grace. And then here comes the last exam and, he gives me grace again. So just be encouraged if you're doing your exams, and just be encouraged. The Lord is with you and he will see you through.